keen to know more about creating a connected home, then you're in the right place. We're joined by our lovely tech expert Verity, who's here to talk to us about a different product each week and how it can make our lives easier. So this week we're talking about smart doorbells. And when I was growing up, it was smart if it did a little jaunty tune, but that's not what we mean, is it?
No. So basically a smart doorbell will be able to show you who's at your door, so you're able to see if it's somebody you fancy talking to. Okay. A good way of screening who's at your door, basically.
So how does it work? There's a camera in it and then I download an app, do I?
Yes, so it usually works with your smartphone. It has a little camera, so whether you're in the house or out and about, you can see, if somebody rings your doorbell, you can see who they are.
And how do you install those?
So on the whole, there's two options. There's a wired option, which usually requires a professional to come out and do it, or there's a wireless option, which will run on batteries. So we'll need the batteries replacing usually once every 6 months. They're pretty long lasting. Obviously the wireless version is a little bit easier. The wired version sometimes can be a little bit more reliable, but does come with that extra kind of installation hassle.
So last time we talked about security cameras. Do you need a doorbell and a security camera, or can you just have the doorbell?
The doorbell, a lot of people do use a smart doorbell as a kind of security option, good for right outside your front door, obviously not for inside. So if it's just whether you're concerned about people getting into your front door, if you've been worried about people coming onto your driveway or your car, a smart doorbell can do that for you. They've got a pretty wide field of vision, so they can get in quite a lot. When I say field of vision, I mean how broad of an area it can capture with its camera. But on the whole, their primary kind of use is for looking at who's coming up to your door, whether that's a delivery man, postman, or somebody with ulterior motives.
And do they connect to other smart products like locks, maybe, things like that, or are they just on their own?
On the whole, they're sold as separate systems, but they can work together. So, for example, if you've got a delivery man at your front door and they've got a package and you're not home, you can tell them a smart lock code so they can get into your house, and then obviously you can watch them leave on the smart doorbell, make sure they have gone. So yes, on the whole, they'll be separate, but they can work together, and they're all coming through onto your smartphone, so you're able to control them all from one device.
So we talked about the two systems, the wired and the wireless. What's the price difference?
There's probably about £50 kind of separating the two. If you're going for and it's actually cheaper to go wireless on the whole. So something like the Nest Hello, that's going to come in around £230. Then you're going to have to add in the installation on top of that. The wireless version Ring is coming in usually under £200, about £180. So you've got about £50 difference, but you do have the added installation cost of the wired. So it's actually cheaper to go wireless, which is quite unusual.
So once I've bought the system, do I have to pay for the app?
So it's a little bit like security cameras. Usually you'll get maybe a year bundled in, and then afterwards there will be a subscription cost for the more advanced features, things like on the Nest Hello with the face detection, so it'll be able to know the difference between people that it sees regularly and people that it doesn't. So you don't have to pay that. You can still, it's not going to become useless after a year if you don't pay that. It's just that the features will become a little bit more basic, but still absolutely fine to use it in terms of keeping an eye who's coming to your door.
That's great. Thank you so much, Verity. It's really good to be able to see who's at the door without having to go and answer necessarily.
Definitely.
Join us next time when Verity will be telling us all about smart fridges. Make sure you're not hungry before that one.